What if Luce had the Omnitrix, written by Kaiju Lord 54 Season 1 Part 7. It was a splendid morning at the owl house as Luce enters the living room having already gotten dressed into her school uniform. She then sees a pot with something being stored inside by a levitating spoon. Luce, oh, magic spaghetti. She says before the spoon smacks the teen's hand away from the pot. EDA, hands off. That's witch's wool. It repels powerful spells. Every witch worth their salt has a cloak made from this stuff. Luce, I'm worth salt. I want cloak. EDA, easy, kid. With the Emperor's goons at my doorstep, I need this for protection. They've really stepped up their attacks lately. Luce, I think I finally understand why the Emperor wants you so badly. He's got the hots for you, doesn't he? She joked as EDA winks while clicking her tongue. EDA, but no. Emperor Belos wants to control all wild magic through his coven system. He ordered my capture years ago because I refused to fall in line. Luce, and he won't stop until he's got you? EDA, yeah, but don't worry about it, kid. I'm a master escape artist. Besides, I know you'll have my back. Suddenly, a bunch of feathers grew all over EDA's body. EDA, oh, she said before transforming into the owl beast. Luce, King, get the elixir. Now, King, right, he said as Luce turns into an alien with a body made out of light green crystals. Luce then creates a bunch of crystals which restrains Owlbeast EDA. King then came back with an elixir, making EDA drink it. But it didn't work, so King went back to the room and grabbed a dozen more elixirs before giving it to EDA. They were relieved when the owl lady had returned back to normal. EDA, thanks for that, kid, she says before noticing the dozens of empty elixir vials. EDA, and those. Diamond Head EDA, your gem's still dark. EDA, huh? It's not dark. You're nuts. Diamond Head, the curse has been getting worse and you've been hiding it. EDA sighs in defeat. EDA, you're right. It's taking more elixir to turn me back, and more magic to keep the curse from rearing its feathery head. Diamond Head, what happens if you use your magic up? EDA, oh, you know. I'll just kind of, sort of, turn into the owl beast, forever. It's a fate much worse than death, if you think about it. She laughs. Diamond Head, we can't let that happen. We'll find a cure. And EDA, hey, don't worry. I just have to limit my magic use a little. She says, using her hands to make Luce smile, but then realized how useless it was since her protege was now made of crystals. EDA, right. Go on. Do the parallel arm thing. She says before Luce gives the owl lady a big hug. King demands huggies too. The little demon says as he hugs EDA's leg. EDA, okay. It's time for school. She grunts before escaping Luce's grip and opening the door. EDA, have a good day. Diamond Head, get rest. Drink lots of water. Stay out of the sun. Lift with your knees, not your. She was cut off by EDA slamming the door shut. She then makes her way to Hexside, eventually timing out of her transformation. Gus, Luce, are you ready for the field trip of a lifetime to the one, the only, Emperor's Castle? Luce, right. I was thinking about staying behind, actually. I don't like the way they treat EDA. Gus, but you're gonna miss out on all the cool stuff. Luce, like what? Willow, like ancient relics. Like the plant coven's green thumb gauntlet, it can grow whatever you imagine. Gus, there's the Oracle Sphere. It shows you which path will help you become your best self. Luce then noticed something else on the page. Luce, the healing hat. Made from the magic of the Savage Ages. It is said to cure the deadliest diseases and heal any curse? Willow, yeah. You can't miss this, Luce. Principal bump, all aboard, students. The students then enter the flying carriage as our protagonist knew exactly what she needed to do at the castle. She then wrote down her plan in a notebook. Willow, hey, Luce. Luce, what was that, Willow? She exclaimed, quickly closing her notebook. Willow, I was just saying we're getting close to the castle. Emperor Belos built it as a symbol of unity. Before he came to power, folks were doing magic all wrong. He taught us that the only to respect what the Titan gave us is through joining covens. Luce did not like the sound of that as she looked towards the castle in the distance. Willow, it's a shame Amity couldn't make it after hurting her leg in our grudge-by match. She would love this trip. Luce, so, Willow, about this Belos guy. Would you say he's powerful? Willow laughs. Willow, no offense to EDA, but the Emperor's the most skilled witch that's ever lived. He can even talk to the Titan. she says as the carriage lands in front of the castle. Principal Bump, now, the Emperor's assistant will be your tour guide. Please don't make me regret taking you here, he said as the students exit the carriage while the castle bridge extends itself for them to cross. Kikimora, children of Hexide, Emperor Belos welcomes you to his castle. We're honored by visits from students. You'll soon be a part of a coven. Some lucky few may even find their home here, in the mighty Emperor's coven. You are the future of the Isles. My job is to teach you its past, she says as the students follow her into the castle. Kikimora, today, the Isles are a place of peace and prosperity, but that wasn't always the case. Up until 50 years ago, witches and demons practiced wild magic during what we called the Savage Ages. Witches had access to corrupt knowledge, and that dishonored the Titan. That was until our great emperor ascended to the throne and taught witches how to use magic properly. Our next stop is the emperor's personal collection of relics. They entered the relic room and saw all sorts of items, including the healing hat. Luce approached the hat, ready to take it until, Gus, let's go, Luce, he says, grabbing her hand as they move along with the rest of the group and continue with the tour. Kikimora, here at the Emperor's Coven, we require members with sophistication, elegance, and grace. Suddenly, a door opens as Lilith enters, covered in dirt and leaves. Luce quickly hid behind the other students so she wouldn't notice her. Kikimora, make way for Ms. Lilith Clawthorne, students. And if I'm not mistaken, she's on her way to see the Emperor himself. Let's all wish her luck. Students, good luck, Ms. Lilith. Lilith, thank you, students, she says before walking away. Kikimora, this way, children. While no one was looking, Luce sneaks off and follows Lilith throughout the castle, making sure she doesn't get caught. Lilith then makes her way to a large door, fixing her hair and brushing off the dirt and leaves before entering. The door closed as Luce went up to it and looked through the keyhole. She saw Lilith approaching the Emperor sitting on his throne along with a dozen guards standing by. There was also a giant, green beating heart above the Emperor's throne. The Emperor seemed to be breathing heavily as Lilith bows to him. Lilith, I am at your service. Emperor Belos. One of his servants appear, offering him what appears to be a dead palisman. Emperor Belos, just a moment, Lilith, he says, taking the deceased palisman and using his finger to crack it, pouring the green liquid from within into the eye sockets of his mask. Emperor Belos, much better. Luce gasped as she looks away, running down the hall in horror. She then looks out a window to see the class leaving the castle. She also noticed, herself. Luce turns around to see Gus and Willow. Luce, guys. Willow, you were planning on taking the healing hat, weren't you? She says, holding up Luce's notes she had dropped without noticing. Luce sighs. Luce, you got me. But you don't understand. EDA has this curse and it's zapping away her magic, and Gus, but you can borrow it. Willow, hey. I wanted to say that. We learned about EDA's curse from your notes. We're totally gonna help you. Luce, thanks, guys. I know exactly what we gotta do. It's time for a heist, she says as our trio starts sneaking their way around the castle, tricking the guards and making sure they don't get caught. They eventually made it to the relic room. Luce then takes the healing hat and smiles. Luce, now we can cure EDA and bring this hat back before anyone knows it's gone. Emperor Belos, I will know. The Emperor's voice echoed in their ears, our trio foes as chills ran down their spines. Luce, we need to go. Now. Suddenly, the doors shut, locking them in. Willow then grabs the green thumb gauntlet, using it to create a large tree which knocks the door down. Luce, come on guys, let's go, she said, ready to grab her friends and run only to stop as Lilith appears before them, using her staff to unveil Luce's cowl. Lilith, why, if it isn't Adelin's human pet? How perfect, she says with a grin. Lilith, aren't I lucky to find you here? Luce, stay away. If you touch us, I'll take you down. Lilith, I have no time to waste with you, she says, her staff glowing. Willow, run, Luce, she yells, using the gauntlet to attack Lilith with plant magic. Gus even used his illusions to help, but they weren't strong enough as they were both knocked to the floor. Luce, guys. Luce was about to hit the Omnitrix, only for magic chains to restrain her hand from touching it. Lilith then uses the chains to wrap themselves around the teen, capturing her. Lilith, if you want to see your friend again, deliver this to Adelin, she said, using her staff to take Willow and Gus away. Willow, Luce, she called out to her as they were forced out of the castle. Some time had passed as Lilith had been waiting for EDA at the castle bridge during sundown. "Lilith, come on, Adolin. You would be late when I need you the most," she says as Belos watched from the top of the castle wall. Suddenly, EDA appears looking real angry at Lilith before throwing Lilith's staff into the castle wall. "Lilith, sister. I see that you received my invitation to a witch's duel," she says before EDA shoots several blasts of magic at her. Lilith summons her staff into her hands as the sisters start fighting. "EDA, where is she?" she yelled as she charged towards Lilith. "Lilith, easy now," she said, putting her hand up, making EDA stop in her tracks. "Lilith, the human is safe," she said, bringing a tied-up Luce to the bridge, trapped inside a magic bubble. "Lilith, you can have her back, provided you do as I say. Renounce your wild ways and join the Emperor's coven. He can heal your curse." "EDA, don't believe everything that Bonehead tells you. He doesn't want to heal me, he wants to control me." "Lilith, then I will take you in by force." "EDA, you've always looked down on me because I'm wild, but, fortunately, that just made me work harder than you," she said, charging towards Lilith, swinging her staff like a baseball bat, launching her into the air. The two then resume their fight in the air all around the castle just as Luce looks on from within the bubble. Lilith then fires a blast of magic towards our protagonist. EDA immediately flew down to her as the bubble was rolling towards the edge. The owl lady used her magic to keep Luce from falling as Lilith returns to the ground. EDA then restrains Lilith with Hooty Mimics, twirling her staff and firing a huge blast of magic. Lilith then moved Luce in front of her as a shield, to which EDA quickly diverts the blast away. "EDA, stop hiding behind Luce, you coward," she pants as does Lilith. "Lilith, it's sad to see you slowing down, sister. Tell me, is it the curse?" EDA growled as the black in her gems started to grow. "Luce, EDA, no. EDA, maybe it is the curse. But then how pathetic are you that you can't best me at my worst?" she yelled, firing several blasts at Lilith, using the Hooty Mimics to get Luce out of the way. Lilith creates a magic barrier to block the blasts. "Lilith, you may be stronger than me, but that made me work smarter. I became crafty. EDA, a lapdog for a tyrant," they yelled as Luce attempted to break free from her chains. "Lilith, you always thought you were better than me, that I could never beat you in anything. EDA, I am better than you." "Lilith, then why were you so easy to curse?" she yelled, making Luce and EDA's eyes widen in shock of this revelation. Lilith gasped, she didn't mean to tell the truth to EDA like this. "Lilith, and I have the power to remove it, if you would just let me explain." EDA didn't want to hear any excuses, screaming in anger as she slams Lilith into the castle wall. Meanwhile, Luce managed to break free from her bubble, breaking it against a spike. "Luce, EDA, stop. Your magic." "Lilith, human, that orb was for your protection," she said, throwing the chain teen off the bridge. "EDA, Luce," she yells before using her magic to stop Luce from falling into the spikes below. "Luce, EDA, stop. You'll run out of magic." "EDA, it's my power, kid. And before you showed up, I spent my whole life wasting it." Lilith used her magic to create a large blue hand that started pushing Luce closer to the spikes. "EDA, all right, kid. Listen to me. I'm going away, and I don't know if I can bounce back this time. Watch over King, remember to feed Hooty," she said as her eyes began to turn black. "Luce, please, no. EDA and Luce, thank you for being in my life," she says before screaming as she used the last of her power to create a big blast of magic. Luce's chains had disappeared as a result and would have fallen into the spikes had Albert not swooped in and flew her back onto the bridge. "Luce, EDA," she said as she tried to shake her awake only for EDA to start screeching, transforming into the owl beast. EDA snarls at Luce and was going to attack but Lilith restrained her with magic chains, dragging EDA across the bridge. "Lilith, come along, sister. Now we can let the healing begin," she said as Belos watched, knowing that EDA has finally been captured. "Luce, let her go," she yelled, about to use the Omnitrix. But up from above, Emperor Belos' staff glows red, firing a red beam of magic onto the Omnitrix just before the teen could hit the dial. The Emperor's magic colliding with the Omnitrix had resulted in the alien device letting out an energy surge, sending the teen flying to the other end of the bridge. Luce had a migraine, looking to see the bridge closing. "Luce, no," she yelled, hitting the Omnitrix, but nothing happened. She hits the Omnitrix again, but still, nothing happened. Luce realized that the Omnitrix seemed to be broken, as it constantly changed colors from red to purple. Lilith, apologies, human. But Adolin is finally with her family. Her real family. Go back to your world. This one is ours, she said as Luce looked on helplessly as Lilith returned to the castle. With the Omnitrix now useless and the bridge out, Luce had no choice but to walk all the way back to the owl house. Hooty yawned as Luce came back. Hooty, oh, Luce. There you are, he said as she enters the house without a word. Hooty, Luce? She looked to see a huge cake to which King bursts out of it. King, the cake is me. Hey, where's EDA? Luce then fell to the floor, crying as King and Hooty went to check on her. To be continued. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video make sure to like and leave a comment and share it with a friend. See you all later.